record. Oh, we already got permission.
Oh.
Great. Okay.
Why don't you guys sit closer to the camera?
We're kind of tethered to the board. Hold on. Let's watch this.
Oh, okay. Why don't you move the couch closer?
Let's set up. Do the.
I can't. I'm going to be out of frame.
Watch this.
Yeah, I want to see you guys' faces. I want to see you guys that close.
I could do dad style where it's just like my mouth.
Smaller.
Is that close enough, or do you want us closer?
Go a little closer.
Here, let me one more thing. Let me hook you up, Third.
Well,
I don't.
let's just scoot this closer.
Here, sit down on that.
Here, let me get this.
Get some more cabling.
Get some more cable.
We're keeping this on here too. This is gold.
I mean, I wish you could see our fucking setup. It's just.
Nope, wait. Oh.
Have a seat on my throne, my man.
All right, that's as far as we can go. So
Yeah.
then,
Sweet.
I'll tilt you guys sit down. I'll get the angle, and then we'll.
Because people want this. This is raw.
Okay, and I'll get the frame. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oh.
Yeah, there we go.
Sweet. That was great.
We'll just lean forward like this.
Breathe the air.
Well, that was really cumbersome, figuring that out. And that was harder than it was supposed to be.
I think you created what's probably going to be the funniest part of all
Oh,
of it.
you
And
gotta
boom! The video is hilarious. It's quite funny.
All right. Well, action. So today's kind of release day, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
Special
Yeah.
one week before. It feels like release day.
It's a stream day.
Exclusive stream.
Yeah. How are you guys feeling about it?
It's pretty cool. I checked it. Nobody had made it all the way through all the songs yet.
I mean,
It's the joy of SoundCloud.
It's awesome.
Shows you everything you need to know.
Just all this.
You can leave that part out. You don't need to know that.
But it's been pretty cool. Feels like got a lot of like cool feedback.
Yeah.
I
Good.
sent out CDs to people who had pre-ordered the vinyl today, so that was pretty cool. And pretty much everybody got them. I don't know about the dude in Anchorage, Justin, one of Kirby's friends.
Oh, you got someone in Alaska listening to you guys?
yeah, he's a plumber for the Air Force. He's the weirdest person to ever meet.
He's so funny.
He does a lot of cool shit.
I feel like there's a story there. If you want to jump into that more, or maybe that's the whole story, that he's weird and he's a plumber for the Air Force.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. I don't know what.
I feel like that's pretty appropriate.
Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. He's not.
Do any of his stories make it on the album as like an influence, or no? He's just a buddy.
We're not that
Okay,
weird.
Gotcha. Well, I know that David has some questions. I mean, I kind of just wanted to rap in general, but I know that David has some questions too. He's kind of prepared. So we're going to do just like a mix of both. Just really anything you guys want to talk about as far as the album, and I know he's got some. So I don't know if you just want to hit it off with one of the first ones, David, and we can just kind of go from there.
Yeah, I can do that. I'm David, by the way. Really nice to meet you all.
I liked your article on Glide. Sweet. It was good.
Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, I really enjoyed the single and enjoyed the record. And as I was listening, the record feels really cinematic and very visual. Could you describe sort of what the writing process was like, and if you all sort of had visual images in mind, or as you were writing?
So I think when I write, there's a lot of visualization of like the different characters that might be involved in my writings, but it's a lot of it just kind of seems to happen. I don't know. It's really weird.
Yeah.
It's like I'll go through like a spurts of like writing, like in a couple of weeks I'll get like 6 to 8 songs written, and then I could be trying to write a song for like 2 months and I can't get anything. It's really weird. But yeah, so like visually, like when I wrote Midwest Moms, I was thinking legitimately about my mom, right? And she like used to freak out about Y2K for like a year. It was a full on like thing we talked about.
It was a fun morning.
I mean,
he's like, I have this idea for this song. everybody send me little funny things or whatever that remind you of your mom, and stuff. Or
that's
just
so sweet.
Midwest moms,
Yeah.
like things.
Yeah, I think Jason came up with like a bunch of stuff.
All morning I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on that. Like,
Yeah, for me, that's the most visually descriptive song on the album. I mean, you guys just knocked it out of the park on that. And the album is really character based. It feels like it. Like this is what I like about it. And maybe we've talked about this before, but compared to maybe the last decade of like indie rock, indie music, which I felt like was kind of chasing this whole thing thematically or lyrically of just like I don't know, like vagary and like ennui. It's just like, what is this vague feeling I can't describe? This whole album is very specific. Like you guys actually talk about. I mean, you guys just nail things, right on the head. You're very specific about it. So I don't know. That's obvious with Midwest Moms. It seems like the most obvious song.
You're pulling from specific memories.
Oh, for sure.
Things. I think that's what helps us kind of, visualize within the lyrics. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, great too because it's like the Y2K reference. It dates it back to I don't know, like when I'm sure we're all kind of different ages, but generally when we were growing up and like specific things that we kind of lived through that are a little bit nostalgic. They're a little bit of a throwback. It's not like it's talking necessarily about. I mean, it could be talking about Midwest Moms right now, but also specifically talking about stuff growing up in the
so
80s and 90s
I think there's
or
a
whatever.
blend. I think there is a blend of like, some moms still do that stuff, and my wife still does some of those things. I'm like, hell no.
Some moms still Y2K prep.
Some moms are still rocking that. I love it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think directly of my Aunt Sue when I think of like the Slim Jims and like smoking long cigarettes, like skinny 120s and stuff. Like, I don't know.
Putting Crisco on everything.
Yeah, Crisco.
Like, man, Aunt Sue, why does this taste so good? Well, I used a whole vat of
Crisco icing. But
Yeah.
Kind of harping on the very specific. Like, I think for us, like, it's kind of like keep it simple. What little things do we kind of laugh about, and what do we kind of giggle? I really don't have much part of it until it's kind of come to me. Usually I get like a voice recording or something from John and just like a acoustic bass line. Like, hey, listen to this. And I don't know, it always kind of starts from there. It's fun.
Yeah.
John's very good about spreadsheets and very good about all the stuff, so he keeps everything organized.
What do you use spreadsheet? I like spreadsheets.
Oh, that spreadsheet, everything.
Oh man, geez.
It's wonderful. He
We're into Trello now, so we
I was
have
gonna
full-
say,
I love Trello, man.
Trello.
Trello is
It
awesome.
It is neat. Way better on the
Very
desktop or
organized.
something than it is
Yeah.
on the phone.
I don't know what Trello is, but I assume it's
Oh, you gotta
Trello.
check out Trello.
Yeah, so it's just like you can assign tasks to people, and you can create different cards and different it's kind of like a virtual whiteboard. So like I've got like three albums broken out right now of like songs that we've written that I think could fit on different style albums and stuff. And then like what are the practice plans for Wednesday? Basically, like our time is very limited. Like
Yeah.
I do band stuff pretty much every day. A little bit in the morning and then some in the evening. But for the most part, I think it's pretty much Wednesdays from about 5 to 10. And then that's like right, like that's like the golden.
That's color station time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that's color
absolutely.
station
Yeah.
time. Like
It is expected.
Don't play
That's
it, like-
practice day. Like
5 hours?
yeah,
Damn. That's, getting away from the family for 5 hours. That's solid, man.
it's awesome.
That's a feat. Yeah. That's dedication.
I have
So
a
is every-
time even signing my kids up that has anything to do on Wednesdays.
Yeah,
It's
so Steve even had like his baseball schedule. Like when he volunteered to be a coach, he's like, "Here's the days I cannot practice
That's awesome.
or play a game on Wednesdays. Like that's it. Like your kid better be in the hospital if you're gonna miss practice, right? Like
we've all coached in the soccer league, and mainly half the reason that I do it is just so that I can control the schedule and make sure that they don't schedule anything on Wednesdays.
But
it's
everybody
like
else-
Sundays.
Everybody else thinks that we're just really like committed to.
We're super
man,
into
yeah.
it. Love
I
it.
love
Love
the
it.
kids.
No, we're just manipulating everything so we can have band practice.
The
What
man
are the
behind the
results of
curtain.
more Cutler Station time?
It's just, you guys are all dads, right? Yeah, it's what's fascinating too is like, I don't know. I feel like you guys are putting out some of the best music right now, just kind of in the scene, and kind of what you're getting at. Like, certainly have less time than people who, well, now there's a ton of people who just have a bunch of free time. But it's interesting to know the process is dictated by like what time you can make, because you've got a bunch of other commitments. And I don't know, it seems to me at least it's more compelling than like a lot of the music that like younger bands are making. I don't know. I just wonder if that actually has something to play into it, where like you don't have time to like overthink stuff and write a trillion songs and go down a bunch of rabbit holes that don't matter.
Yeah, and that kind of goes with the recording process too. So we do everything ourselves. So basically, Steve has a finite or a small block of time where he can work on like mixing and mastering and stuff. So that's why I have so many effing spreadsheets, man. We got to keep track of like stuff is scheduled from like 5 to 6:30. We're gonna do this. Once Swagger gets here, we're gonna warm up with a couple songs. Here's all the songs we're gonna play. Like here's what we need to work on. Yeah. Here's the stuff we're gonna write. Here's some stuff here. Like there's a jam space.
Yeah, that's inspiring. I want to.
It sucks.
I want to do that. I want to schedule the whole week out for Rover, like because we try to meet up like twice a week and we do 2 hours at a time. I want to start doing that, where like next Thursday we're gonna work on this song. We're gonna do like that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
That's how bands probably should be. I feel like
and it's easy to fall into it. And honestly, all that credit does go to John. John is extremely, because I feel like the rest of us, if we didn't have John from the kind of beginning, now we're all pretty trained to like that. We know that John means business. Like I think it's back. They fucking hate me because it would have been pretty easy to come in like, and I could see us sometimes just screwing off.
Well,
and not doing the
it
things
keeps you from
that
getting
need us
there and
to
be
keep
like,
moving forward.
what do you want to do? Well, I don't know.
What do you want to do?
Oh, you want to play that?
What's
song?
on
Just jam. Here's a cool thing I'll jam on.
Yeah.
Like that's like just a waste of time, right? So if you have a focus,
yeah, for sure.
like,
especially when you're a dad, man. I got 4 kids. Like, if I want to be away for 5 hours, we got to be doing shit
at any time.
Justify it.
And it really kind of stemmed from, we started playing together again, and we were all kind of married now, and we had kids, and we were like, okay, like if we're gonna go play shows, like, and our wives come, we cannot suck. Like, we've got to at least like the wives can't be like, okay, you're gone every Wednesday from 5 to 10.
That's
and
what you're
like,
doing.
You sound like a horrible dad band.
you guys are just hanging out drinking beer.
Yeah.
You're not even practicing.
So,
It's a performance review. It's like the boss is doing a performance review, making sure they don't have to fire you guys.
yeah.
Yeah. How long have you guys been playing together? I think just seeing bio stuff or whatever. Haven't you guys been playing together since like almost a decade? Is that right? Or is this more recent?
Yeah, so the 3 of us started playing in a band with another high school friend when we were 16. I might have been 17. You were 16.
Probably 2001.
2000.
Yeah, I think it was 2000, like spring of 2000.
20 years we've been playing.
What kind of stuff was the early stuff, like 2001?
Yes.
Weird.
Like
New metal?
It was like stoner. Someone I can't remember what someone called us like one time.
Well, Neutral was like
nerd rock. It was about like writing.
Nerd rock.
it was like
High school-
I'm a
high
nerd
school-
that can't get my girlfriend.
Yeah, high school nerd love songs.
The band was called Neutral?
Yeah.
That's a
And
pretty
like-
good name.
Yeah, like we had some songs like "Water for a Girl," like something like I don't know.
Yeah, we were.
Our first show was at homecoming at a high school.
Yeah. Awesome.
It was terrible.
But it was all original music, right? Like we never once played I think we might have played a Pixies cover. That was it.
Yeah, we played Eye of the Tiger and we played Jesse's Girl.
That was when we were in Fleming.
That was.
I don't know if we
So
ever
that was yeah. So we all went to college, and like we kind of us 3 kind of still played music together for a while during college, and then after that we kind of just.
Well,
When did Cutler Station start?
Yeah, John moved to Columbus.
I was in Huntington.
I moved to DC for a year.
It ended it.
Yeah, so there's like a couple year hiatus between 2000 and today.
They didn't tell me till the day of the show. They were like, "Well, that was it."
That's the last
I didn't
show,
want you to
Swag.
be
What?
so pissed.
That show. It's a good way to end a band.
I'm a horrible band. Like I'm a horrible band boss.
I didn't leave
I
my
don't tell
room
you
All right, so
till-
when did you guys actually start as Cutler Station then?
So when John was up in Columbus, he started playing music with Steve in a band for a while, in another band, but that doesn't matter.
That was like probably 2006.
Probably, yeah.
2007.
And then I moved back from Virginia to Columbus, and then I started playing with John and Steve for a while in a band, and then we kind of formed Cutler Station with another one of our buddies, JD, who plays like piano, saxophone, and he's like a doctor in saxophone.
Doctor of sax, man.
He's the one that played on
amazing.
Happy Campers.
Yeah,
if
he
you've
played
listened
all
to any of
the
that.
extra instruments on Happy Campers.
Cool.
Very
So
cool.
then we were kind of like that iteration for a while. And then John moved back here to the Cutler, Vincent area. MOV.
It's like a weird magnet that draws you home.
And
Yeah,
then,
I had moved back in like 2009,
Yeah.
I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Steve finally moved back from Columbus back here. And then you guys kind of
How many
kept Cutler
times did you and
Station
Steve jam
going.
before you guys reached out?
That first time with you.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
thought you
because
had been jamming
I
for
moved
some
back,
reason.
and so me and Kirby and Steve had kind of had Cutler Station, and I had to move back home in like 2012, no 2010. So about 2011, we sort of formed this band. But then we haven't really been this band except just for a couple years. like-
Yeah, the four of us haven't been this band since 2018.
Yeah.
So this iteration of Cutler Station,
Yeah.
Gotcha.
2018-ish,
And
is
it all,
when we got serious about it.
yeah, we got kind of serious about writing and like really like when we started
Well,
playing
they-
shows.
We made Happy Campers, and it was just a conglomeration of like, hey, we're married and we're all got kids. So it was like, hey, let's do this long weekend where we just spend the whole weekend in the studio, just screw around, and let's try to make some recording out of it, and like see what comes of it. JD came in.
Buddy Brian.
Yeah, we had another gentleman, a guy who was in the band at the time. Brian was here, and we all just kind of went to town, and Happy Campers came from that weekend. And then so we were like, we're gonna get pressed on vinyl and spend a couple $1,000s of
Yeah.
John's money.
Yeah.
And so we have all these vinyls. Like, well, what now? So we decided, like, well, we'll play a
We
show.
gotta sell the vinyl. So
Yeah,
we
that's
gotta-
how Steve. That's how Steve
What?
used to me. I would not play a show, and I hate playing shows. I used to like just extreme nerves. I can't like I almost couldn't do
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It was like but like it's,
Hey, I've seen some YouTube videos of you guys playing live. I subscribed to the YouTube channel, and I've got a 9-month-old at home right now, so I'm up at all hours of the night still. And it was like 4 a.m, and there was like a suggestion like Cutler Station Live at some spot. And you guys got some swagger, man. You guys got some good stage presence.
I have
Yeah.
a
I don't know why you're nervous.
Oh, dude.
You were
Well, I'm
like,
saying,
It's
like,
our release, man.
You would have never thought John was like the most nervous person because he's like the most animated person up
Absolutely.
there now.
yeah, you got a thing going, man. I dig it. I dig it a
I
lot.
hope everybody's got a release like that.
I think that also kind of goes in hand though with you relaxing playing live with us, because I remember we played at a show, and I think I sent John a message, was like, man, if we're gonna actually play out, we have to take it a little more serious, because I don't want to go out and make an idiot out of myself.
I don't
man.
wanna
I
make
don't
a
want to
fool
go
of
out and
myself.
look stupid, like like. Not that I care too much, but what people think. But at the same time, if we're gonna do it, let's
Yeah, you want to
take
do it well.
it,
You
do
wanna-
it well. Make the
like
best
anything, right?
representation of ourselves.
It's just a representation of your life, right? Like, I just want to do the
shitty
best.
thing.
And then I don't know, that's when things really kind of took.
Oh, for
really
sure.
make sure we hammer
Yeah.
this song out of practice.
That's when I started getting regimen in my practice. my
And when you
practice
did that, like, I think that helped with the nerves, because I was the same way. Like, holy shit, man. I probably shouldn't be up here playing drums in front of people, but.
I like the amount of pressure you guys put on yourselves.
We are definitely our
and
worst
all this
critics.
pressure comes for like the 2 people that come to the shows.
Oh yeah, we are way under the number of
It's
people.
like it's like the bartender and like the hostess at the front. And that's all.
I'm sure they love it.
I think it's a lot of personal stuff though, right? Like I don't want to let you down.
I mean, yeah, even if you are
Right.
the bartender who's stuck, especially not her, because she's stuck there.
Yeah,
She can't leave.
she can't leave,
She gets paid regardless, right?
and she's giving us free beer.
Yes.
David, I know you probably got more questions. I want to make sure I get you in here too.
I like your tattoo, David.
Yeah, I was gonna say at
Well,
some
thanks
point in
very
time,
much.
I think
Cactus.
man,
Yeah.
a sweet freaking
Did you
picture
get
of
that
would be
just for
awesome.
Cutler
Yeah, I
Station?
can't believe you got that for Cutler Station.
No, actually, this was after my band put out a record that had like cactus.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
picture.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's just very funny that. So I was also going to talk about, you all had mentioned that you record everything yourselves. And like, what was that process like in terms of, did you already have sort of those skills and then just transferred them into Cutler Station, or did you all have to learn sort of as you go?
So Steve is the real kind of driving force on that end. We've all been, we've been playing music for
like
a while, right? So, we've been kind of just accumulating things through time and just, screwing around here and there. And then you just pick up techniques, and Steve Googles and YouTubes, how to do things. And then we try them. And then if it sounds good, then we're like, sweet. And if it doesn't, we do something else. But so that's kind of how we usually do it. And then, we research mics and equipment and that kind of stuff. But we did record a song up at OU with Eddie Ashford. And we learned a bunch because he was teaching his class like a recording class or whatever, like how to do that.
Oh, cool.
So we went into it as like
free
class, right? We learned like a ton of
These
stuff.
These kids were sitting around doing like, oh my God, like,
all these kids
get out of here.
Steve's like, hey, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. All these kids are just on their phone, like not giving a shit, and we're just like, oh, so that's how you do that. Oh man, it makes so much more sense.
It's like throwing away like $15 an hour just in the garbage.
Oh, man.
Being in a class, not paying attention.
Oh man, it was.
I regret so much of. I went to OU and I actually did some stuff with Eddie. My college band did exactly what you're talking about. We had the free sessions because we were like a studio thing or whatever. And I feel like I hate 20-year-old Dean. I
me too, man.
money away.
I literally filled out
not taking it. And then when you're old enough, you do take advantage of it when you're in that situation.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we were in our 20s, we wouldn't have. We would have been just like, oh man, this is cool. Let's get drunk and whatever. Go out after this. But
yeah,
we gotta get back for work. So
I went back recently for some audio production classes, and it was amazing just to see the amount of people that didn't care. And I was like, I really want to learn this stuff. Like, I want to get better at home recording, and I want to, it was mind blowing.
Well, I think it's like when kids go to school and they're 18 and they don't know what they want to major in, but they're maybe being pushed to go to school, which is like, I'm sure we all agree, like too many kids go to school who like don't know what they want to do. But like you like, oh, I like being in bands, so I'm going to go into audio engineering.
That's exactly
probably a lot of them don't even actually care about that. They're just like, I just want to be in a band for a living, so I'm gonna do audio engineering as my major, and it's just like
those fucking idiots. Me. That was totally me. I failed out of school because I forgot I was in a health class, man. It was awful.
yeah, Mom wasn't having that.
You forgot you were in a health class?
Yeah, I was like in a health 101 class. I just didn't show up. I just totally got an F in it.
I have nightmares about that. But you actually did.
I
that.
did it.
Okay.
I had music theory too, and I was like, oh man, cool music theory. I don't know what that is, but it's math. This is not like, I thought we were gonna learn about magic and stuff. Like,
hey, I think what you were just saying. I have nightmares sometimes that I show up week 6 of this semester, and I realize that I have that same nightmare. Yep, and they're just like, well, you missed the midterm. You're not going to be able to pass, and I just wake up in a cold sweat, and then realize I haven't been in school in 10 years.
I think we do like doing it ourselves, though. Like,
all right, what else you got, David?
Oh
yeah.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. You guys are on a point there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, we do like doing it ourselves. Like, I think our budget and our time is so constricted. Like, the wives are not spending personal money on like the band. So like, I bought the first thing of vinyl, and that was like kind of like an injection of like
it's your investment.
It was an investment in the band, right? It was like $2,500 to get 300 vinyl, right? And then basically like, we have all this vinyl, we gotta go play some shows. Like, we hadn't played a show in probably 5 years, right? Maybe. I don't think you played a show since you were 21 or 22.
Yeah, it had been a long time since I had.
Jason hadn't played drums in like 5 years, and when it was the best the best musician already in the band. When he started, I hadn't stopped playing. Jason, I haven't played in like 10 years. Picks it up.
Yeah, I had to get my drums down out of the rafters in my dad's garage.
Yeah, I think recording ourselves, you're not pressured to like, I'm spending this. Man, it's like hour 2. I'm like already like wasting all this money.
Yeah.
Like here, you can just kind of like, hey, let's try this, and then if it sounds good, cool. If it doesn't,
well, we've got
added pressure like that, because it would be. There's on days. There's on days, at least for me, I suppose. You know, there's good days when I come in and things work well, and there's days it's like, shit, I forget how to play that song or something. Just like it's just not sounding something that I want to be. That putting on a record that I'm going to listen to all the time, or that people.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine it being like, well, tough if it's not going well because we're on
we just pay
time frame and
right.
can't afford to do it again. Because we've actually been there one time. We spent, I don't know how much with that Fleming band. I went and stayed in some guy's garage all week, and I sucked so bad we left, and it was like we didn't have anything when we left.
That was neutral.
Yeah,
that was neutral. That's right. I forgot Bolden was with us.
That was nice.
But that helps out, especially because I feel like I'm personally very amateurish. Like, it takes me a lot of takes to get a good bass take. Like, I can't have Eddie Ashworth or somebody like
looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, like, oh my God, like I already get nervous enough if Kirby's in the room.
Well, something I really like about your guys' recorded sound too is like it doesn't sound studio. I mean, it definitely sounds at least a little bit DIY, but it's really put together. It sounds like a very, very well done home recording. And there's just a certain kind of charm about that where it just sounds identifiably like you guys when you hear it, just based on the recording sound. And obviously the music already sounds like you guys. Like what other band could it sound like? You know what I mean? Like you guys just have such a distinct thing. But it's really cool that
anybody's ever given us.
I like it when people are like, I don't really know what to compare you to.
Let me springboard from there, because David, you've compared him to like earlier Flaming Lips, and I thought that was really interesting. And I don't know, have you guys ever gotten that before, that one write-up? Like, I actually think that's a pretty, I mean, it's not necessarily like, I don't know, I guess that early stuff is kind of rootsy, but I feel like, what did you hear that was Flaming Lipsy about it, David? Like, specifically?
The things that I heard with, well, especially Wither Away, the arrangement is really lush. So, like, in the way the song kind of, like, swells and bends, reminded me of a lot of Cloud's Taste Metallic. With sort of the way that the steel guitar comes in is sort of similar to a lot of the stuff on that album by the Flaming Lips. I don't know if y'all have ever listened.
I thought the instrumentation, I thought the same thing about it. That's what seemed Flaming Lipsy to me. Just like it seems pretty stacked for like I don't know, whatever, if you want to call it Americana, or I don't know what you guys call yourselves. All country or whatever. It seems like more lush and stacked.
I think it was someone said it was Appalachian Power Pop.
Whoa,
that's
great.
That's perfect.
I was like,
that's fine. I can see that. But yeah, I fell in love with Flaming Lips on Yoshime, and then started making my way back through the stuff. So that was like a huge compliment in itself. Like, I love Flaming Lips.
Cool.
I think everybody's kind of like flavors and tastes are kind of like injected from the.
Yeah, we should probably mention too that we had John Borchardt who lives in Athens too.
Yeah.
We kind of contracted him to put that pedal steel on.
Yeah, he is like he took the album, which I thought was already pretty good,
next level,
and it went boom for us. Like when we got it back from him, we were like, "What the hell is happening here? Like this is like something really good." Like,
I ate so much crow because John was like, "Man, let's put pedal steel." I'm like, the whole album,
like hell yeah!
That's a big commitment. That's a big commitment. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you start the album off with it too, with Wither Away. It's like a whole ass hook just to like come out right off the gate, but
he hit it.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, we have tried to entice him to just join. Like,
yeah, he's basically a fifth member of the band now.
Yeah, I think we kind of considered him like.
And he's a super cool dude. So we like met him. He played on Jake Dunn's album, and we played at Jake Dunn's vinyl release party. So we started,
10-minute warning.
okay.
Oh shit.
So we started chatting, and it was like super fun, but like we can already tell like he's kind of a local guy. He already kind of gets us. I don't know. It just felt like it was like a home run from the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool. He's great.
You mentioned Jacob Dunn, which is somebody else Little Star has worked with in the past. I mean, who are your favorite musicians in the area? And like obviously you guys are in Vincent. I don't know, talk more about that too, the area, because it's not where a normal band would, who's getting press like this and getting out there. It's not where a normal band like that is from. So
yeah, I always think that art can come from anywhere. I lived in Columbus and I fucking hated it, man. Like I remember the first time on a helicopter. I lived with my wife, my soon-to-be wife, next to the Ohio State Medical Center. And there, like the first night a life flight came in, I like jumped out of bed and I was like, "We gotta get in the bathtub! Like, something's going down!" Like,
we only have 10 minutes. We have to answer the questions.
So yeah, I don't know.
I really dig Ona.
Yeah.
I really like Ona a lot. Ben Davis Jr. I enjoy Ben Davis.
Yeah, Jake Dunn.
Jake's pretty cool.
Their whole mentality and sound is really cool.
Yeah.
I think those guys. Yeah, I'd have to say Ona.
Wayne Graham. I mean, he's not from our area, but it's close, fairly close, right?
Yeah,
Same scene.
Yeah.
Place, yeah.
Basically,
And
our scene is about a 2-hour drive anywhere. Really.
Yeah.
So like we can have a scene in Columbus, but we can't seem to get into Columbus. Like literally.
Yeah, our scene is not Columbus.
Yeah.
It's like
Huntington, Charleston,
Lexington.
Kentucky, right?
But like that's just because we can't. I don't know. It's weird. Like.
I think like regional scenes, I think that's going to be a really big thing again. I mean, with everything going on right now, like with the virus and everything, but it just seems like there needs to be some context again for music, because it's just like everything exists on the internet, kind of this homogenous thing where like, yeah, I guess I can listen to anyone anywhere without any context. I think people at least want some kind of context. I'm seeing a lot of bands really doing the regional thing, and I'm sure it helps that everybody's sound in the area. It seems like it's got to be Appalachian, I'm sure, for the most part. Like everybody has to have that kind of influence just in the area, so it makes sense that there would be so many like-minded artists kind of doing the same thing in that region. And I mean, Vincent is like, what's the population? And isn't Cutler Station like the general store or something in the area? Like I feel like there's a whole like.
Yeah, so Cutler Station's actually closed now. Like, they went out of business just as like last.
They might be reopening now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the new owners are going to take back over.
Who knows what the population is? 2,000 maybe.
Vincent?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Who knows?
We have a stop. We have a 4-way stop. It's a flashing light. It's not really a stop light. But it is a flashing light.
It's more of a township.
Better than a stop sign.
Yeah, it's a township.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what's so great about the record is that even in an age when people are releasing things online, the record feels like it has context. Like the characters are so good. The music feels, like Appalachian. And I think that's a testament to the strength of the songwriting,
Thank you. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of just mystique, I guess, to even like living in such a small town and stories on the album. Like it almost seems like you guys are from a different universe, even from someone who lives in Columbus, which just kind of seems like, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of great parts in Columbus, but it seems like just kind of like a 21st century city. It seems very like modern and like yuppie or whatever for the most part. So I don't know. It almost seems like you're peering into some like weird place you've never been before. I didn't mean to use the word weird, I guess, but I just think that
it's totally like. I mean, it's super weird.
In the stories and the sound on the record. I think another element, this is the last thing I want to talk about personally, but another element that's really interesting to me, and maybe why I think it sounds kind of, I won't say weird, I'll say fantastical, are the synth sounds throughout the record. Like that's a really interesting aspect to your guys' sound. That's like maybe the opposite of twang. It would be a synth, and some of the tracks, especially midway through the record, are just like, I don't know. I always hear that like Devo kind of thing. Talk about that, because that's just really interesting to me.
So yeah, I mean that's kind of what we try to do. Like we like all types of music, right? And we just try to like mishmash, you know. Oh man, we're gonna put pedal steel on it, but what would be awesome is we had a pedal steel and a synth on that.
Dual
You know,
leads.
just like, you know, stupid shit like that. Like, what would you not expect? Let's do that.
let's at least try.
Explore.
I think we always.
And then
I think
if we're
that's
like,
the best
ugh.
thing. It's like
Yeah.
we are so open to trying a lot of different things.
And we're all very ADD.
Yes.
So, you know, it's, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's always
Do you guys play all the synth parts live? Like when you're playing live, or right now, I guess when you're jamming, like
yeah, some of the pads, like the pads. I don't think we do any pads on.
Swagger has a couple things he'll like interject.
Yeah,
pad
the
standpoint.
drum pads, but
Right,
like
yeah.
some of the synth pads that we have,
Yeah.
maybe not. Maybe
But
if we're like
we
really
can
into
the
it.
synth
sprinkle a
lead
lot
stuff for sure. I
afterwards.
love the rentals. So like I feel like a lot of that's
Awesome.
from that. Like the rentals, Ozma.
Ozma, yeah.
Yeah.
As I was listening through today, I almost got hit with. There's a little bit of. I don't know if you ever listened to Granddaddy.
Oh, I love
Love
Granddaddy.
Granddaddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't discovered them until, you know, a couple years ago, but I mean they've been around
Yeah.
forever.
It blew my mind that they were out at the same time the blue
Yeah, I know. It's
I was
crazy.
like, holy shit, how has this escaped me for like 20 years?
I mean, they're awesome. Yeah.
And it's
Do you
amazing.
guys know the band Roswell Kid?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I played with them. I'm sure David, you know them or played with them. But
Yeah.
I played with them back in like 2013, and Jordan turned me on to Ozma because he was getting all kind of, I guess, bent out of shape a little bit. They were getting all these Weezer comparisons. It seems like a lazy comparison, and he was like, "Can they at least compare us to Ozma? Because like I feel like we're an Ozma ripoff band, is what he always used to say, or something like that."
Yeah,
Don't know the words
they
in
always
his
have really
mouth,
good
but,
merch too, man. They have awesome merch.
Yeah, they do. Well, we're at the 2-minute warning. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Ozma's in my email name.
Yeah.
That's how much I used to love. I still have my email from high school.
K.E. Ozma
Well, don't give it out.
at gmail.com. Oh, all the ladies are going to want to hit this up, Kirby.
I'm gonna steal your identity.
Yeah.
Thanks for doing this. This is awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah, it's
appreciate
fun,
it.
yeah.
Taking your time out to listen to us talk over
What's
each
your
other.
band's name, David?
I play in a band called Gym Shorts, like the name Jim.
Awesome. That's an
they're-
awesome band name.
Thanks so much. Yeah. So we're putting out a record in September.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the last thing. How does it feel to put out a record and not be able to do the normal show thing? We'll end it on a sad note, I guess. I know you guys are trying to do some outdoor
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
it's
just
bad.
canceled we were gonna do a
The
show in
release
Jackson,
show.
but we ended up canceling it. It just wasn't right.
Yeah.
It's just awkward. I don't know. You don't.
Yeah,
It's just
even if it is safe or whatever, even if you're in an area that doesn't have a bunch of cases or something like that, I can imagine that like the interest probably isn't there right now. I mean, I put together like an outdoor thing in mid-June, and it was a little bit different because it seems like things were still kind of hadn't really spiked up again. But yeah, I can understand that. But I hope to see you guys live sometime, man, or even to work something out. Like that's definitely one big thing that I'm interested in, just catching your set live and just seeing what it's all about. You don't really know a band until you like, I don't know. I feel that way.
Hey,
See 'em
drink
live,
Busch Light with them.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, cool. I'm good to end it here, or if we just want to talk for the next 58 seconds and then have it randomly just cut out in the middle of a sentence, that's cool
Yeah,
too.
so my idea I talked to the bowling, where's the West Side Bowl place we played. When we talk about like regional stuff, I kept thinking, you guys need to set up a circuit with all the different bowling alleys in the area that have, because like he was telling me there's 3 or 4 different bowling alleys he knows that have like live music. I'm like, you guys should just all sync up and do like a bowling hour like circuit. Like you pick up 3 different artists, they just play the same 4 fucking bowling alleys right
That's
around.
Youngstown, right? The West.
Yes, yes.
Is there one?
Yeah, I played there in September.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I played there. My wife was a due date for our son was Christmas Eve, and then we played the West Side Bowl in late September, and then he came 3 months early, so that was the last show I played before I was a dad. And